During World War I, an African American regiment known as the Harlem Hell Fighters resisted discrimination and went on to become one of the most decorated groups in American history. Under French leadership, they demonstrated their bravery in combat despite institutional racism and being reduced to manual work. While their bravery dispelled prejudices overseas, injustice and segregation at home overshadowed their sacrifices. This is a tale of tenacity, bravery, and the struggle for equality. During World War I, a unit of New York National Guard soldiers served as the Harlem Hell Fighters. Their government set them up for failure. Despite being ridiculed, humiliated, and eventually handed over as a throwaway to the French army, they returned home as one of the most decorated troops in the entire U.S. Army. One of the most significant regiments in American history is the Harlem Hell Fighters. They contributed to demonstrating to the world the military might of black soldiers during World War I. The belief that African Americans would not perform well in combat made it extremely difficult for them to enlist in the U.S. military at the time. They had to perform on the battlefield while overcoming the prejudice of their compatriots. They are unsure of what they will do when they travel abroad, just as a lot of other units of African American origin. Will they be stevedores who load ships, or will they fight as infantry? Will they cut wood and be labor units? They are therefore dedicated to labor duty. They are building latrines, unloading ships, and providing other support services. It is stressful for these men because, as you might guess, they have been trained and are prepared and willing to fight. When the United States entered the First World War, General Pershing, the commanding general, made it clear that American forces would not be thrown into the French and British Army piecemeal. In some ways, this was an even bigger insult when they were eventually handed over to the French Army. Because Pershing vehemently disagreed with the French and British requests for reinforcements. Except for the black men, Americans will fight in this battle as an American force under an American flag and an American general. They are yours to keep. With Private Needham Roberts holding a listening position, Henry Johnson, possibly one of the most amazing black military heroes in U.S. history, found himself in a precarious situation. When Needham Roberts hears click, 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 he knows that the wire is being cut. It might be a German raid. Roberts is passing him grenades, and after they are lined up, the Germans do manage to cross the lines. Henry Johnson is now left to hold their position and fend off this attack since Roberts is injured. The Germans are on top of him after he makes the error of jamming a French cartridge into his American gun, which renders it inoperable. He then turned them by using his rifle as a club, and finally a knife in combat with the Kaiser's finest. He sustains injuries during the battle. For instance, he gets hit in the foot and suffers a crippling damage. He claims that he fends them off for what feels like an hour. One individual caused the Germans to flee into the night while screaming. People don't appreciate what a great act this was until the following morning. In addition to finding 4 dead German troops' bodies, they also learn from the equipment and other items left behind that up to 30 people might have been involved in this fight. The French gave him the Croix de Guerre, a high honor, as soon as he drove those Germans away. Regretfully, it took the U.S. government over 75 years to award him the Legion of Merit. He would have received the Medal of Honor upon leaving that war if he had been white. When I started researching the Hell Fighters narrative, I was shocked to learn that the U.S. government had submitted a memorandum to the French government, effectively enforcing Jim Crow laws after they had demonstrated such great combat prowess. It means that we don't want them to bring that idea back to the United States and demand equality. Therefore, don't give them the impression that they are equals. He does not receive the Purple Heart upon his return to the United States. He ends up being unable to work as a result of this injury because it is not noted in his service record. As a result, he received neither government nor army support, and he passed away in 1929 with nothing. It so demonstrates the dilemma once more. This is a fantastic tale of bravery and heroism on the side of the soldier, who eventually returns to a country that does not respect that sacrifice. Even though we all believe we are well versed in American history, the Harlem Hell Fighters' tale ought to be among the first to be told. It was about becoming Americans and doing their best to serve their nation, not about killing other people. That was the Harlem Hell Fighters' propensity. Democracy was a weapon and armor to African Americans in 1917, and fighting for a war to ensure that democracy was safe in the world was more than just an idealistic cause. It produced tangible results for the Hell Fighters. They were battling for the right to citizenship in their birth nation,